The call came on a Thursday, 3 weeks after she'd thrown me out. Her voice was soft, almost polite. "I hope you've reflected on your behavior," she said. "Are you ready to apologize?" I stood in the quiet of my rented apartment, staring at the peeling paint on the wall. Her tone was practiced, controlled. The same tone she used when she told me to pack my things and get out, while her daughter stood behind her, arms crossed, smirking like she'd won something. Back then, I didn't argue, didn't plead, didn't ask why. Now, listening to her voice again, I realized something. She still believed I was guilty, that her daughter's stories, those poisonous, rehearsed lies, were the truth. "Sure," I said, after a pause that stretched just long enough to make her believe I'd broken. "Let's talk." She gave me a time, a place, her house, our house. I hung up, dialed my attorney, and said, "Meet me there. Bring the papers." Because I wasn't coming to apologize. I was coming to end it. The day she threw me out is branded into memory. It wasn't an argument, it was an execution. She stood in the doorway, eyes wet but cold, holding her daughter's trembling hand. "She told me everything," she said. "I don't even want to hear your side." That line, "I don't even want to hear your side," cut deeper than any accusation could. Her daughter cried then, fake tears rolling over her flushed cheeks. She said I'd crossed boundaries, made her uncomfortable, that I'd said things, done things, vile things. My wife believed her instantly. One lie became three, three became 10, and I was guilty before I could even breathe. I slept in my car for 2 nights before finding a cheap apartment. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw my wife's face the moment she looked at me, like a stranger, like a threat. No trial, no doubt, just disgust. That's when something inside me went quiet. Not broken, silent. The kind of silence that plans. I began collecting small details. The daughter's school friends, her phone habits, her posts. Her sudden surge of attention online, sympathy posts, vague captions, little cries for validation wrapped in healing energy. She loved the comments, the praise, the attention that came with being a victim. And my wife fed it. "You're so brave," she told her. "You're so strong for speaking up." Meanwhile, I gathered evidence. Not to defend myself, not anymore. To expose the rot. Screenshots, messages, DMs. One of her friends slipped up, said too much, told me she'd bragged about finally getting rid of me. Every piece of it fit together like a puzzle cut by guilt. I waited 3 weeks until that call came. When I arrived, the air smelled the same, jasmine and disinfectant. She opened the door, already rehearsed for the conversation she thought we'd have. I didn't speak. I just nodded to my attorney, who stepped forward and handed her the divorce papers. Her face drained. "What is this?" "Reflection," I said quietly. Then I looked past her, to the daughter, standing in the hallway, frozen. The confident smirk she always wore slipped into confusion, then fear. "Wait," she whispered, stepping forward. You're divorcing her?" My attorney left us. Silence filled the house. I held out my phone. "You should read these before you say anything." Her messages, her fake screenshots, her deleted posts, her own friend's confession. Her mother's eyes darted between the screen and me, then back to her daughter. "Is this true?" The girl tried to speak, stumbled, then collapsed into sobs so violent they didn't sound human. I wanted her to myself," she choked. "You were always between us. She loved you more than me. I thought if I—" Her mother backed away as if struck, and I stood there, calm, almost detached, watching everything burn without lifting a finger. When her tears slowed, she looked at me, pleading, destroyed. I said nothing. I just turned to my wife. "Now you know." She opened her mouth to apologize, to explain, but the words died behind shame. I stepped closer. "You told me you didn't even want to hear my side," I said. "Now you've heard hers." Then I signed the last page of the divorce papers in front of her, placed the pen on the table, and walked out. Her daughter's sobs followed me to the door. Her mother's silence was worse. I didn't look back. Some endings don't need fire. They need quiet. The kind of quiet that lets truth echo. As I reached my car, I realized something simple, almost cruel. I didn't hate them. Not anymore. Hate gives power. Detachment takes it back. I started the engine, watching the house shrink in the rearview mirror until it was just another shadow on a street I'd never return to. For the first time in weeks, my breathing was steady. Justice didn't scream. It whispered. And when it whispered, it sounded a lot like peace. She destroyed my name with lies. I destroyed her illusions with truth. One of us will sleep tonight, and it won't be her.